welcome you to this broadcast of girls varsity basketball on NKTelco Sports. We are at Russia Local Schools, where the Jackson Center Tigers will take on the Russia Raiders. Tonight's game is brought to you by the following sponsors: Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, The Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. You're looking live here at the Claire C. DeVoe Gymnasium at Russia High School. My name is Brandon Coverman, and to my right is Michael Laws. And Michael, let's take a look at this game, the first Shelby County League game of the year for both teams. The Jackson Center Tigers had just played one game. That was on opening night, and they lost to Three Rivers Conference opponent Bethel 37-27. They're under first-year head coach Tiffany Brown, a very young roster.
Absolutely. They're trying to build on that, especially, and this is a good test, especially getting right into Shelby County League play right away. Usually you get a couple of non-conference games under your belt, but now they're going to see what they're made of right away and try to get that bad taste out of that Bethel game out of their mouth.
They haven't played since Friday. The Russia Raiders on the other side, a more veteran roster. They started out with two quality non-conference wins. They started out here Friday against the Sydney Yellow Jackets, beat a very good Sydney team. Then went on the road and played MAC opponent Minster and beat the Wildcats 43-37 for second-year head coach Paul Bremingen. This is a veteran Raider roster that's looking to get their first Shelby County title since 1994, and it starts here tonight against the Jackson Center Tigers, a very good and veteran squad.
Yeah, experience is definitely what you're going to see here out of the Russia Raiders. They're going to be a little bit more battle tested. Also, as you mentioned, two games already under their belt and really ready for this Shelby County League matchup here, and they should be able to put their best foot forward right here in their home gym.
And it should be a good one here. We'll step aside here for the national anthem, the starting lineups, and the keys to the game as we'll hand it over to PA announcer Mike Hart and be back here next. Stick around here on NKTelco Sports.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Together, we are family, working safely for our loved ones.
We are problem solvers who challenge the status quo and drive improvement.
We care about our customer relationships.
We stay true to our values, caring and respecting one another.
We embrace change as we journey through our career.
We are Precision Strip, the world's leading processor of rolled steel and aluminum.
Precision Strip, doing the exceptional.
At Wilson Health, we're extending care beyond the walls of the hospital, with resources designed to keep you in charge of your health.
Our independence and connection to the community are unique in a world where big healthcare strives to act like corporations.
Our tools may be the same, but we are different.
We're neighbors, friends, and family who truly care about the people who live here.
We call it caring without limits, and it's just the beginning of a whole new Wilson Health.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, getting ready for the starting lineups here, brought to you by Emerson Copeland. First, taking a look for the Jackson Center Tigers. Number 4, Grace Prenger. Number 44, Macy Klopfenstein. Number 20, Addie Biederman. Number 10, Presley Reese. And rounding out the lineup, number 14, McKinley Reichert. Head coach of the Jackson Center Tigers in her first year is Tiffany Brown. And taking a look at our Emerson Copeland starting lineups here for the Russia Raiders under second-year head coach Paul Bremigen. Number 3, senior Cece Borchers. Number 4, junior Ronnie Poling. Number 13, senior, the girl in the middle, Kate Sherman. Number 14, point guard, senior Reese Gubo. Number 22, senior Simone Putoff. Again, the Raiders coached by second-year head man Paul Bremigen. All starting lines brought to you by Emerson Copeland. Let's take a look at our keys to the game, brought to you by Keyhole Pizza in Newport, Ohio. First, taking a look, Michael, for the Jackson Center Tigers. What are their keys?
Basically talking with Coach Brown before the game. Number 1 is slow them down so they can keep them out of quick transition buckets. Number 2 is ball pressure. And number 3, as always, attack the baskets.
And taking a look at our keys for the Russia Raiders.
Russia is looking to defend against their transition, execute their offense the way they want to, and go after those rebounds.
And thank you for Keyhole Pizza for sponsoring those. Our men in stripes, Chris Branscombe, Kevin Beckstead, and Scott Norris are officials tonight. The men in stripes as we are underway here, and it's a Raider turnover quickly. McKinley Reichert, sophomore, with over 300 kills on the volleyball court this year. Well, man, the offense. Addie Biederman right side. Biederman tries to get it to Klopfenstein, tipped away by Sherman. Presley Reese will inbound under the basket. Tigers looking to get it in. Reichert on top of the key. Reese left side. Reese running through the offense. They're looks like they're trying to get it to Reichert. Go applying pressure. Reese back over to Pranger. Borchers gets the steal, and she'll have an easy, I wanted to say easy layup, but she about missed it there. Raiders ahead 2-0 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard.
Nice step in on that. Pressure that to create that turnover and get the easy basket and get the Raiders up 2-0.
Biederman in the corner. Biederman on the inside over to Klopfenstein over her left shoulder, or over her right shoulder, I should say. Left-handed shot by Macy Klopfenstein.
Getting that ball in the middle and be able to work that lane, get that up here and get this game tied.
Put off, rejects the screen, goes left in the corner. Gubo. Gubo had 21 points in the Raiders' win over Minster Saturday. And Sherman on the inside, shot no good. Rebound, Poling goes up with that power move, no good. Third time's a charm, though, with Simone Putoff. And Raiders reclaim lead at 4-2.
Great rebounding, way to get that on that third opportunity. To be able to get that and get up 4-2.
Raiders get a turnover almost in the backcourt. What a play by McKinley Reichert to keep that alive. On the inside, Biederman gets a blocking foul.
And I'll send her to the line actually very quickly. Get a chance to tie this here with the 2 free throws.
Addie Biederman, 5:54 here to go in the first quarter. The lefty shot no good. This is a Jackson Center team that only won 6 games last year. Very young team. Bill Reichert was the coach last year. This year, so he did it for 1 year. Tiffany Brown steps in. It's kind of a trend in Shelby County basketballs. 4 of the 7 teams have new coaches. As Biederman cans a free throw. We already can see quite a bit of improvement from the Tigers as they grow another year older here early on. And they get a steal. It's Presley Reese. Reese going to the left side. Reese to the basket. Sinks the left-handed layup, and the Tigers ahead 5-4.
That good pressure actually creating some stuff and actually getting Jackson Center on top, and they got another one.
Biederman, left side. Biederman going ahead. Biederman, shot no good. Ball's down to Prenger. She'll just throw it up. Over to Reichert. She'll throw something up. The Raiders get a rebound. Reichert going to be called for the foul going down the sideline. Got a little too much body in there.
I'll be there first. I'll keep them still on the floor there. Lots of pressure here from the Tigers getting started.
Yeah.
They've been really trying to take it to them, seeing what Russi's got, and so far working out for them in a 1-point lead.
Poling is a fake shot, no good. Biederman with the rebound. And the Tigers will push it up ahead. Reichert up over across the timeline. Over left side, Prenger. 4:48 here to go in the first quarter. Tigers ahead 5-4. Trying to clear it out for Biederman. Nice passing on the inside. Macy Klopfenstein will finish that off. 7-4 Tigers.
Great ball movement there, and really showing that just that set improvement, actually getting that extra year of experience. Definitely showing here, and got the Tigers up by 3.
7-4. Tigers ahead. Sherman gets that ball stripped momentarily. Putoff will get it back. Putoff on the inside, blocked by Biederman, and it falls down to Presley Reese, and the Tigers flexing their muscle early.
4th Russia turnover already.
Raiders trying to get another turnover back. It'll be tipped. It'll stay with the Tigers. Tigers off to a very good start after only 27 points against the Bethel Bees. And this Friday, we have our first substitution of the ball game. Maya Manin for the Raiders, another senior.
At the moment, Jackson Center showing no fear.
Yeah. Played very well here.
Yeah, they're moving the ball really, really well and showing that. Sometimes being young is a good thing.
Exactly. Gubo tried to get up ahead to Poling, forced it there. Another Raider turnover. Presley Reese up near the timeline. Reese turns to her left. Shot no good, pulled down by Poling. Raiders pushed up ahead. Manin trying to look on the inside to Sherman. Sherman over to Poling. Poling back over to Gubo. Gubo gonna fire the 3, clanks off the iron. She had 5 of those Saturday night against Minster. Biederman going to take the deep 2. Shot no good. Weak side rebound. Reichert over to Klopfenstein. Klopfenstein's shot's no good. Tracked down by Poling. Raiders going to push it up quickly ahead. Manin, transition 3 off the mark. And Tigers looking to extend this lead.
They are hanging with them and really being aggressive to the ball. It's definitely paying off here in this first quarter.
Reichert trying to get that time offer by Biederman. Up right side, back over to Prenger. Prenger back over to Biederman. She'll take the deep 2, wide open, shot no good. Reichert falling back, shot no good. Raiders will corral the rebound. Manin trying to go to the baskets, double team. Tries to get it out, Biederman with the steal. What seemed was kind of offensively fast. Now it's been doing their dry spell.
Absolutely. It's been a lot of scrappiness on both sides and being able to get the ball, either being able to finish off the rebound, or it's been a lot of steals. Actually 6 Russia turnovers here this first quarter already.
And a nice play by Maya Manin to get the steal. Gubo trying to push it up ahead. Ronnie Poling up ahead. Shot fakes and puts it in for the points. Ronnie Poling now with her first basket. The Raiders trail 7-6 to the Jackson Center Tigers on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Tigers break the press up ahead. Reichert with the basketball. Presley Reese and carried the basketball. Tough turnover there for the Tigers.
Yeah, everybody was kind of looking at it, and I'm like, ref right there was on it on the carry. So.
Raiders going to give up some size here. They're going to put some subs back in. Kelby Dosek, another senior, makes her first appearance in the lineup. Borcher's back in as well. So the Raiders going to go with one of their smaller lineups here. Monin right side. Monin looking for the cut. Gets it up over to Kelby Dosek. Back over to Borcher's left side. Borchers gives it up to Monin. Monin looking on the inside, looking to continue the offense. Dosek back over to Gubo. Raiders under a minute to go, trail by 1. The Jackson Center Tigers have played a very nice first quarter. Raiders get the ball on the inside. Simone Putoff. And the Raiders, with one of their smaller lineups, gets it up ahead to Simone Putoff. She's got 4 points. The Raiders are ahead 8-7.
I think that's where it's going to happen, is I think they're just going to have to wear them down a little bit, especially they've been scrappy here and been working early, but later the drive goes, I think it favors Russia.
Raiders up ahead. Simone Putoff runs the break. She has 6 points. Raiders ahead 10-7. Reichert up ahead. Kloffenstein. Pranger shoots and swishes it. Deep 2 for number 4, Grace Pranger. It has been a good first quarter of action here in the Claire C. DeVoe Gymnasium. The Raiders edging out the Jackson Center Tigers 10-9 after 8 minutes of play. We'll step aside, come back with the second quarter here next on NKTelco Sports.
CarriageWorks has expanded and now can hold up to 25 cars in our service bay. CarriageWorks thrives on customer satisfaction. We accomplish that by providing top-of-the-line technology. CarriageWorks now uses a laser beam system to measure down to the millimeter of factory specs to better service you and get you back on the road. CarriageWorks has a brand new top-of-the-line paint booth that uses waterborne paint. There's no job too big or too small for CarriageWorks. We're certified collision specialists. Come in and see us today.
Kemmler Orthopedic Center is focused on a personalized, caring approach to treat all aspects of orthopedics, including total joint replacement, shoulder reconstruction, stem cell injections, and more. Dr. James Kemmler and Jed Cooney, certified PA, are dedicated to providing the best orthopedic care in the Grand Lake region. Kemmler Orthopedic Center has offices located in Salina and Van Wert, along with extended evening hours. To schedule an appointment, call our office at 419-586-5760.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, after one quarter of play, the Russia Raiders lead the Jackson Center Tigers 10-9, and Jackson Center really, Michael, led most of that quarter, and they played really scrappy for it. We said this is a veteran Raider squad versus a younger Tiger squad.
Absolutely. They were really pressing and causing. Big stat in that first quarter was 6 Russia turnovers, and it was a lot from that pressure from the Jackson Center Tigers coming after them, with Kloppenstein, Reese, and Pranger. And right now, Kloppenstein with 4 points, leading the Tigers. And right now, Simone Putoff with 6 points right now, leading the Raiders in this 1 point lead here going after 1.
6 points from Simone Putoff. A couple buckets there in that last minute and gave the Raiders the edge back. But the Tigers led most of that first quarter. And as ball is tipped out to be Raider basketball, the Tigers will start out with Pranger, Kloffenstein, Reichert, Biederman, and Reese. Raiders will go with Monin, Borchers, Putoff, Sherman, and Gubo.
You're just going to wonder if you can think Jackson Center can keep this up for four quarters. Right now it's been working for them.
And the Raiders get it down inside to Kate Sherman. Sherman with her first basket of the night, an all-SCAL returning player. Raiders going to apply a little half-court pressure. Pranger a little patient against that and just made a bad pass instead of continuing the offense. Putoff to the basket. Putoff gets it ripped away by Biederman.
Rebound by Biederman. Right. One thing, Russia's got a little bit more size. As far as bulkiness, I guess, if you want to call it that, just to get a little bit more beef under there. But Jackson Center is definitely a little bit more on the quickness side, at least so far. Looks like they have it over the line, and it's going to be a turnover.
Yep. Shot blocked, and Ronnie Poling coming back in, and Raiders will inbound it in. Both teams' first Shelby County League game of the year. First of what will be 12 games throughout the course of the year. As Shelby County play the double round robin, you play each team's place once.
It's kind of nice with that. That conference is a nice scheduling thing, but it also allows for some great games. With Russia, against Sydney and Minster, getting some good non-conference, and Bethel for Jackson Center.
Raiders a little scrappiness. They get some foul shots here for Simone Putoff. And the Raiders and the Tigers, one thing, a lot of these girls played volleyball. They were playing in the regionals just 2.5 weeks ago.
Absolutely. It's a big transition, especially a lot of these, and also not a lot of football here, only with Laramie having that. And that's, those fall sports carrying over in volleyball as well.
Putoff's got 7 now. Maybe blood or something on Putoff. She's taken off the court. Going to go back to the locker room with trainer Mo Eckes.
Yep. I have a feeling that's what it was. Either going to change that uniform or...
Well, I saw Friday night at Sydney that a couple players come out quickly. Yeah. I don't know if that's, you're a licensed soccer official. Yep. I know usually there's one thing at the beginning of every year that they try to get you to emphasize on, and maybe that's something if you see it right away, you call them out and say, hey, you got to get out now.
It's a safety thing, and it's just, I definitely, referee noticed it, and that's part of this. But the good thing is, it's a free substitution. As soon as they get it corrected, they can get back into the game, so... and no limited subs here, which is a good thing.
Raiders get a steal out of that. And a new substitution in Kendall Reese. 3 by Maya Monin off the mark. That's kind of Maya Monin's specialty. She had 2 of those in the first quarter against Sydney. She went scoreless Saturday night against Minster.
That's really been the first attempt from 3 range here tonight. For the most part, everything's been pretty much inside and inside the line, near the inside the lane.
Biederman going to pulling out of her usual block position on defense. Biederman off to Kendall Reese. He's playing that JV contest, which Raiders won 35-22. Raiders strip it away. CC Borchers fumbling the basketball. Gets it on the break. Kicks it out. Gubo in transition. She shot fakes on the inside. Shot no good. And it's going to stay with the Raiders.
A little bit of congestion under the lane there and couldn't quite get the handle, but luckily stay with the Raiders for them.
Raiders inbound the basketball. Borcher's going to take the 3 shot, rattles out. Poling gets the weak side rebound. Shot no good. No 3-point field goals yet in this contest.
A couple more attempts now, but still looks like Jackson. I thought it went off Jackson Center, but they will leave it with the Tigers.
Yeah, one thing that the Raiders in that game against Minster Saturday night, they started out 5 of 6 from 3 in the first quarter. So they started out, red hot. Cooled down, obviously, eventually, but that first quarter, it was just, they couldn't miss. Reese Gubo and CC Borchers had each a couple threes. Kloffenstein back over to Biederman. Biederman back to Kloffenstein. Kloffenstein's shot is good. Macy Kloffenstein with 6 points early.
Yep. Nice block, but they'll get it right back. Find the lane.
And the Tiger defense caught napping there. Just lost Ronnie Poling in the lane. Raiders going to pick up the pressure.
Yeah, they're losing. I think that aggressiveness sometimes gets to, you're trying to find everybody and get that speed, and you lose your contacts.
Kendall Reese up ahead, and she leaks behind the Raiders defense as they're caught napping for a basket.
That was her first basket of the night, so starting to spread it around.
Raiders trying to get on the inside to Poling. Poling makes a nice save.
Yep, that was a nice way to save that and get them the ball underneath the basket.
15-13, Raiders on our first National Bank Think First scoreboard. And a nice pick to get Kate Sherman loose. And she scores. Raiders up ahead 17-13.
I think that's really going to be the thing for Russia, is to try to find that underneath. Right now, you got the one body for Jackson Center underneath and everything coming from the outside where they've got the ability to get that off. And then they got a turnover off the walk. And Russia will get the ball back.
Yep, and they get the walk, and Raiders holding on to that 4-point lead on the first National Bank Think First scoreboard halfway through the second quarter.
I think the patience is really showing here for Russia. I didn't think a good thing they didn't get rattled in that first quarter. They're just playing their game right now, in control. Now a 3 attempt, and got it.
Reese Gubo from the outside. She had 5 of them Saturday night. in the first 3-point field goal. And the Raiders up ahead 20-13 on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. Brandon Coverman and Michael Laws giving you tonight's action on Tuesday night here in Russia. A couple days before Thanksgiving. On the inside, Klopfenstein continues to have a fantastic night. She has 8 points.
Moving the ball really well and finding her. She's been the threat.
Gubo, quick
Gubo
trigger.
again.
She's got it. Reese Gubo, quick trigger.
Second three for her and as many trips down the floor. Definitely finding that, and Rushia's starting to heat up.
Gubo now tied for team high 6 points with her classmate Simone Putoff. Reichert takes the shot in the lane. She has not scored yet. She was the lead scorer last year for the Jackson Center Tigers. Raiders in transition. Borchers loses it up ahead. There's going to be a kick.
Yep, we got a kick. I thought they were going to get her on a travel, but evidently said the kick ball first. So that will go back to Russia.
The Tigers look like they're about playing 6 girls. That's one thing you talked about the wear down. The Raiders do have the depth advantage.
Yeah, it's
nice little spin move. Borchers got open. She spun back to the left side, and she got tangled up there with Presley Reese for the foul.
Yeah, Rushia's starting to kind of find it, being a little bit more aggressive to the basket now, and definitely paying off for them. Now this 8-point lead now, almost 9, but couldn't quite get that one to fall.
They just started out 0-7 from the foul line Saturday night against the Minster Wildcats. It's one thing they really struggled with.
Yeah, that's one thing in a game that you really need to depend on, especially when you get into tight games. You know that this could be here later on.
Borchers splits the pair from the line as Maya Mon will come in and be her sub.
Yeah, you're definitely seeing a lot more bodies rotating in and out, especially with Russia. And like you said, I think that depth is gonna show here a little bit later, but we'll see.
They try a deep pass there, and it'll be picked off by Kelby Dosek. A couple Tigers will get it up ahead, and it'll be tipped out at the scores table. And the Raiders will take it out right in front of the Tiger bench.
Tigers definitely keeping their hands up and trying to create stuff and getting the ball out and trying to get the hands in the passing lanes.
Reese Gubo reset the Raider attack right at the Raider logo. 2:24 to go, 24-15 Raiders on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. They try to move the basketball around. Back over to Dosek, left side and put off. It looks like they're trying to get something for pulling on the inside against Klopfenstein. And Gubo just going to go back to the basic Raider offense here. Monin pushes it to Poling. Trying to look for post-up. Be patient here. Monin wide open. She'll pull the trigger off the mark. Dosek with the rebound. Back to Monin again on the inside to Poling. She's triple team. Trying to get that out of there. Nice defense by the Tigers.
Great rebound to be able to get that, and especially get out of that with the basketball and not having Russia score on that very, very long possession.
Klopfenstein loses the basketball. She liked to match up with Dosek, loses the basketball. Raiders push it ahead. Monin shoots in transition. And Dosek stepped on the line as she tried to get the rebound.
Trying to keep it in, but been right on it. Couple out of bounds, couple over the back line, over baselines on both times there.
Raiders going to bring the pressure. McKinley Reichert yet to score, like I said, for the Tigers. She's the lead scorer last year as a freshman. A big talent as she nearly turns the ball over. Prenger up in the forecourt, up over to Biederman. She likes that right side. She misses the shot from the wing. Back up over to Putoff. Putoff back over to Borchers. She's all alone for 3. Got it. CC Borchers hits the wide open 3, and the Raiders have their lead is now at 12.
Finally being able to come back from that three line, and now 2 for Gubo and now 1 for Borchers.
Sherman makes a nice effort, but Jackson Center will have it out under their own basket. 39 seconds to go. Reese back in the lineup for the Tigers.
Coach Paul was on the line and advising the referee of his advice on what he saw on the baseline there.
Biederman, she likes that right side. She's really been shooting from there, and Addie Biederman sinks the shot.
It's her first field goal of the night. Bring it within 10.
Poling trying to get the matchup on the inside. Nice defense by the Tigers. Poling goes back up and is fouled. But really, what you're starting to see Jackson Center do now, Michael, is you're starting to see them crash really hard and double team.
Absolutely.
What the Raiders got to do is you got to try to knock down shots from the outside, and they have hit a couple.
And I think that's actually worked in Russi's favor because that once they get that double team, that's leaving somebody open, and Russi on a couple of occasions has found them underneath.
It's that risk reward, and Poling misses the foul shot. 18.9 seconds to go here in the first half. You're on NKTelco Sports. Poling. Gets the knees, fires, and shot is no good. Rebound pulled down by Macy Klopfenstein, who's had a nice happen. Reichert and Putoff getting into it a bit, and that's,
Yep,
Reichert
got a block on Putoff, looks like. So.
Yeah, they're getting into it. Reichert and Putoff a little bit down there. Both play really hard. I think I read her lips down there. She said, "Get off."
Yeah. I will say this: I can do this from a soccer standpoint. From a woman's perspective, there's not a lot, get off me and a lot of not touching. So I'm assuming it's the same thing in basketball. Looks like we got a jump ball, and that will belong to Russi on the possession, I believe.
2.5 seconds to go as the Raiders have to pull a quick trigger here and get something quickly set up from the sideline. So they'll throw it in, and Reichert will tip it.
Oh, but yeah.
Got to go the full length of the court now.
Yeah, they did get it. But Jackson Center touching it. So at least give it to we'll give it to Russi because she was trying to grab it. So they got 1.5 left.
And Sherman will get it off, and shot is no good, and 16 minutes of play in the books. Russi ahead of Jackson Center 27-17 on our first National Bank Think First scoreboard. We'll take a break. We'll come back in about 8 minutes here next on NKTelco Sports.
We are here, and here, and here. Minster Bank is everywhere, providing every banking service that you need to keep your financial life in order. Whether you are on the go or stopping by one of our branches, Minster Bank is here for you. We proudly support the communities where you live. Minster Bank, helping people achieve financial success.
Unpack your potential with a career at Pratt Industries. Working at Pratt Industries is more than a job. It's a sustainable career.
Pratt Industries to me is a job. It's my career. It's the way I put food on my table, but I love what I do.
We offer competitive pay, excellent benefits, and opportunities for career advancement. To apply, visit careers.prattindustries.com.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? Lincoln Electric Automation in Coldwater and Fort Loramie supplies top-of-the-line automation systems to manufacturers. Lincoln Electric Automation routinely develops its team through hiring and by offering advanced technical training. We understand that every employee matters, and every role contributes to the success of our business. We offer advancement opportunities, competitive wages, and benefit packages. Visit LincolnElectric.com and get on track to a better career and a better future.
New Knoxville Supply Company, the supply source for residential, commercial, and industrial jobs. We specialize in plumbing products from many name brands, electrical products from replacing a light switch to rewiring an entire house, heating, air conditioning, and geothermal products, sheet metal ductwork, installations, and service. We are now housing more inventory, so all the hardware items you need to complete the job are available right away. New Knoxville Supply. Stop in, call, or check us out online at newknoxvillesupply.com.
Welcome back. Claire C. DeVoe Gymnasium at Russia High School. Through 1.5 of play, the Russia Raiders lead the Jackson Center Tigers 27-17. With our first half stats, Mr. Michael Laws.
Basically, for Jackson Center, Grace Spranger 2 points, Macy Kloppenstein with 8 points, Addie Biederman with 2 points, Presley Reese with 2 points, and Kendall Reese with 2 points. For Russia, CC Borchers with 5 points with a 3 and a 2. Ronnie Poling with 4 points. Kate Sherman with 4 points. Reese Goubeau with 6 points off of 2 3-pointers. And Simone Putoff with 7 points. So, CC Borchers had 3 points. Let me correct that. And Simone Putoff with 7.
I'd like to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. You can catch the replay of this game Friday, Black Friday on November 25th at 2 p.m. and Saturday, November 26th at 8 p.m. So after you watch the Ohio State-Michigan game, the Iron Bowl, you can rewatch this game on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HD on Channel 503. So after a full day of football, you can catch a replay. We have a lot of games coming up this year. Yeah. A lot of our schools on our Key Motion. Jackson Center's a Key Motion school. Russia, Sydney. We have also Knoxville, New Bremen, Minster, Key Motion schools as well. Botkins is a Key Motion school, and also do Fort Laramie, Marion Local, Anna, Lehman Catholic as well. So a lot of games to come this year. Should be exciting.
Absolutely. We're very excited to NKTelco to be partnering with all these schools and bring you this action as much as we can here throughout the 2022-23 season.
Double turnovers exchange. Tigers going up, and that's a foul on the Raiders. Reichert will go up and shoot 2. So you can also watch more games also on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and nktelco.com/sports. And a lot of ways you can archive old games that we don't. We haven't posted anything we did from the fall yet, but we do have some archives of some old games from past years. So you can look under Jackson Center and Russia, for example. We have games archived in the past from a variety of different sports: volleyball, basketball, football, and not for these two schools, obviously, but also baseball as well. So Reichert is empty from the line. She's been held scoreless through one half.
Good way to get the hand in the passing lane there to break that up. Addie Biederman being able to get the hand up there to break that up.
Raiders inbound it. Goubeau redirects the offense back over to Borchers. Sherman on the inside, getting it to Poling, and rattles out. Putoff going up and draws contact. She saw hands everywhere, and just goes up against the grain and gets the foul call.
Big thing I think you're noticing here is those second and third chances are coming. A good hunk of them are coming to Russia, and unfortunately for Jackson Center. So, that inside presence I think is maybe wearing down on them here a little bit.
Raiders struggling from the charity stripe here tonight. They hold precariously his 10-point lead. And again, that struggle from the foul line still ever present, but Ronnie Poling cleans it up. There now has 6 points on the night.
Again, that aggression on the boards there. We have a foul. Well, that was a travel at first, but
Putoff got her hand in there on Reichert.
Yep, now the ref had a foul on there, so caught that right away. And Jackson Center will keep the basketball here.
Reese goes right side, trying to get on the inside around Reese Goubeau. Klopfenstein with 8 first-half points, gives it up over to Grace Prenger. Prenger right side over to Biederman. On the inside, Reichert. Sherman, nice straight-up defense, and Borchers breaks it up. State Tiger basketball.
Trying to get in there. A little bit more aggression now from Russia. Now, Jackson Center was kind of the trend of that in the beginning, and now kind of trending toward Russia being a little bit more aggressive here on the hands up here on defense.
Reichert shoots. Shot's no good. Borchers with the rebound. Borchers drives in the lane through contact.
Got off the shot. And will she go to the line? I believe she will.
We've seen a little more, of the whistle blowing the second half. Early on, there's been 4 fouls called, not even a minute and a half into this third quarter. Borchers nails it from the line.
I think it's coming from, I think just the frantic pace that they played at earlier, I think is also starting to wear, especially here in this early season.
Borchers now with 8 points on the night, leading all Raiders scorers. Biederman gets across the timeline. Biederman runs into a double team. Reese over to Klopfenstein. Over right side, Biederman. Biederman for a teammate to get it to. Ball's tipped back over to Klopfenstein. Harassed by a couple Raider defenders. On the inside, Reichert shoots. Still struggling tonight to hit from the field. Been a tough night for McKinley Reichert. On the inside, Sherman going to turn around, go against Klopfenstein. Shot no good. Biederman with the rebound. 31-17 Raiders.
A little ice cold there for the Raiders here in the last couple trips.
Sherman swats it away. It'll stay Tiger basketball. And since the end of that first quarter, it was 10-9 Raiders, and Tigers led the majority of that first quarter. Ever since, the Raiders have outscored them 21-8. So this Tigers team, very young, very scrappy, a team that only won 6 games a year ago, playing some freshmen and sophomores. Now this team, their players are sophomores and juniors, and they're shown a pretty good leap here this year already from what we've seen last year from that 6-win Tiger team.
Well, I think they'll win a little bit more than 6 this year. From what I'm seeing here, a lot of aggressiveness, a lot of athleticism, and are not showing any fear, which is great if you're a Jackson Center fan.
Borchers gets the rebound, stays in bounds, goes left side up over to the recently subbed in Maya Manin. Poling trying to get the high low to Dosek. Back over to Putoff. It's a nice screen over to Borchers. Borchers goes back over right side to Putoff. Putoff circles back on the inside, going up against Biederman. Shots blocked.
Coming down with that would be Klopfenstein.
Reese gets the ball intercepted by Putoff, and she's held by Reichert. Those two have been getting tangled all night long. 5:01 to go here in the third quarter. 31-17 Raiders. As Reese Guba back in for Simone Putoff. 4 seniors and a junior on the floor for the veteran Raiders squad.
I think that is going to, as I think that is showing here, especially, they'll get there. Jackson Center's getting there, but definitely, I think they're gonna surprise some people, especially here in not only in the Shelby County League but around the region here.
They run a set for Reese Gubo, and she gets the nice, friendly home roll.
Yeah, after some tight rims in the last few trips, you get a nice friendly roll there, so you take the good with the bad.
3 threes for Reese Gubo. She's had 8 in the last 2 games. 4:23 to go. The Raiders doubling up the Tigers, 34-17. Reese trying to get a backdoor cut over to Reichert. Will run back through the offense. Tries to spin around Maya Manin. Back over to Reichert in the corner. Back over to Kelby Dosek. Dosek up over to Pranger, and shot is blocked by Reese Gubo. Gubo pushing quickly up to Dosek. Dosek back over to Borchers. Run a screen over for Gubo. There's back over to Maya Manin. Back over to Poling. And they get it over on the inside to Dosek, and she's blocked and fouled by Addie Biederman, who came over late and commits the body foul. You might say the block was clean, but what officials say is that's a 2-part foul. You got to keep the body straight along with the arms.
Absolutely.
So
just because you get the ball doesn't mean it's necessarily always legal.
Exactly.
So I think that's what we got in that case there.
Dosek sinks the first free throw. Sherman back in for Ronnie Poling, and Grace Holscher will check in the lineup for the Raiders. Her first action of the night, a senior.
I get that as an official all the time. Well, I got the ball. I'm like, well, yeah, you also knocked them silly too. So, I think that was the case there as well. So,
Dosek splits the pair from the line. She's another Raider in the box score. 6 Raiders in the box score. A timeout by Coach Tiffany Brown. will give us a chance to thank our sponsors here on NKTelco Sports, because without them, this game would not be possible to be brought to you. They are Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, the Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, the Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza. Our scoreboard sponsors, First National Bank. This timeout's brought to you by Precision Strip. Starting lineup sponsors, Emerson Copeland. Our Rushi Live View sponsors, the Jewelry Barn. And our play of the game, which Michael and I will pick at the end of this game, is brought to you by NKTelco. Also, other sponsors include Burke Petroleum, Jiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Deckman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hulsman Automotive, Park National Bank, Securecom, and the St. Henry Bank. So coming out of the Precision Strip timeout, Raiders taking a little bit of control here. It's a 35-17 advantage. It was 27-17 at the half, and
it's really tightened. Yeah, it's been all Raiders here in the second half so far, and even if they would have got some more friendly rolls, it would probably been a little bit worse. But I think a little tight rims gotten them there a little bit, so been able to come up with some stuff, but definitely showing their maturity right now. A little bit older and a little bit more seasoned and a little bit more into it. But this Jackson Center team, I'm telling you, it's a lot of aggression, a lot of youthfulness and aggressiveness, and definitely creating some stuff and definitely making things interesting here.
Raiders trying to get a steal out the timeout. They're going to call it over the back on Presley Reese. Nice play by Reese. Gubo of the Raiders.
Yeah, they ended up, I thought the Rushi player had it, but evidently it hit the leg of the Jackson Center player. So
Jackson going to come out of this timeout. Seemed like they might have discussed this 1-3-1 zone, maybe 2-3. Can't really see the formation here. Maybe it's in a zone, and wide open is Maya Manin. Nice passing by the Raiders.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to go more to a zone, because I think that man-to-man, they were kind of getting that extra player loose, and then they were able to break the zone that time and find Manin there.
Biederman on the inside trying to make a move. Shot is blocked by Sherman. And the Raiders have the basketball. Looking to push it up ahead. It's Grace Holscher up ahead to the basket, and she has her first points of the season for Grace Holscher. So her first varsity points. Congratulations to Grace Holscher. And on McKinley Reichert. On the inside, Pranger.
Foul.
And Maya Manin just lost her on defense. Nice job by Pranger, get to the basket and draw contact.
Yeah, I think you're going to start seeing here, especially Rushi getting a little bit more off the bench. Kind of get them some experience here.
Shot no good there from the foul line. Borchers and Poling back in for the Raiders as Gubo and Dosek head to the bench.
I have a feeling you'll see that here in the fourth quarter if things keep going the way they're going here.
An empty trip. Just been an offensive struggle this quarter for the Tigers, for Tiffany Brown's young squad.
And it's not for lack of effort, I'll tell you that. It's just a matter of you've got a tight rim and a little tightness there at the free throw line. Be able to get them in, and yet to find some points here this quarter.
And Tigers drop back in that zone. I don't know if it's a 1-3-1 maybe.
Yep.
Looks more like, looks more like a 1-3-1. It looked like it was shifting just into a couple different things. Holscher wide open in that zone and swishes the basket. Grace Holscher 2 for 2 and has 4 points.
Yeah, I think the Jackson Center is trying to switch to that zone, I think, to try to help alleviate some of this.
There, a nice shot.
First points of the half there.
Exactly what the doctor ordered there. Grace Pranger with her second basket. 41-19 Raiders ahead of the Tigers on the First National Bank Think First scoreboard. And against that zone, the biggest thing is there's holes open in that zone. It's getting the ball to those soft spots in the zone.
Absolutely, and also moving to those open spots too. Because just as Jackson Center is exhausted, so is Rushi.
Poling misses a shot on the inside. Biederman with the rebound. Reese back up over to Biederman. We're inside a minute to play. 41-19 Raiders.
That was a walk, but said no.
There's Shelby County action. Fort Laramie playing Anna right now. Should be a big Shelby County League game. Laramie's won the league 5 years in a row. Last team to not win that was Laramie. It was actually Jackson Center as Monen's 3 rattles out. Strong side rebound. Poling goes up, no good. Goes up again and gets the shot in the fall for Ronnie Poling.
Great effort there to get that finished.
The last team to win the league that was not Laramie was Jackson Center back in 2017. And shot is no good as Holscher and Reichert get tangled up. Both teams looking to dethrone the Redskins this year as they've been on a tear these last few years. Monin 3 off the mark. Time expires through 3 quarters. And the Raiders have an offense outburst, 16 points that quarter. Scored the Tigers 16-2. We had with 8 minutes left to play. Russia leading Jackson Center 43-19. We'll be back here next on NKTelco Sports.
Whether you do business from a corner store or a corner office, there is one asset your business cannot do without: the internet. Everything from sales and marketing, training and shipping, PR, HR, and R&D, your business relies on a fast, reliable, and secure connection. And now, it's more important than ever to partner with an internet provider you can trust. Get Flight Fiber for Business, backed by local tech support from NKTelco. Call today.
Hi, I'm Mallory. My grandpa's been making the world's worst pizza for 30 years. That doesn't look like the world's worst pizza. Grandpa, I know why they call you Chunky Bob. It's because you use chunky ingredients on your pizza.
Of course, it's not because I'm fat.
Grandpa, this is the world's best pizza. Keyhole Pizza, come check Grandpa out.
Dine in or carry out.
Back here on NKTelco Sports, beginning of the 4th quarter of action between Russia and Jackson Center. Brandon Cover and Michael Laws giving you the action. Raiders, very good quarter, 16-2 difference that quarter against the Tigers, Michael.
Yes, it was just total domination of that 3rd quarter. I know we had a lot of action. Jackson Center had a tremendous aggressive 1st quarter, and then Russia definitely showing their maturity right now in a 16-2 3rd quarter, really getting them to pull away here in this 4th.
Jayla Shapian for the Raiders. Ronnie Poling gets the steal for the Raiders. CC Borchers in the forecourt. Back up over to Simone Putoff. Putoff back over to Sherman. Sherman trying to go on the high-low to Poling and just overthrows it, and it's going to be a Raider turnover.
Yeah, they've been having trouble finding that. A lot of balls over the baseline tonight. Both of them, on both sides, whether it be off of missed passes or deflections or whatever. And a lot of hands up on defense as well.
Raiders look like they're falling back into a bit of a zone defense themselves, maybe a 3-2. Try to get on the inside to Reichert, who's still scoreless tonight. Borchers in the forecourt. Borchers driving, back over to Putoff. You can catch the guys version of this game Friday night here in the Claire Vo Gymnasium. Both teams open up against each other. Jackson Center and Russia, as the Raiders turn the ball over, what's going to be a very good matchup here on NKTelco Sports. Craig Fissinger and I will be on the call for that game. We're supposed to be Jackson Center, probably the favored men's team in the Shelby County League this year by a lot of, let's say, basketball experts out there. Russia expected to have a very good team, so it should be a very good matchup off the bat. So if you're a Jackson Center Russia fan, you can order that pay-per-view or subscribe for Friday night's game as Biederman's shot's no good.
A nice rebound there.
Gubo up across the timeline. Go over to Shappy, back over to Dosek. On the inside, Sherman to the basket, shot no good. Ball rattles around, players hit the deck.
And we have a foul or
jump
ball. Yeah, jump ball, both arms went up, so that will belong to the Tigers, I believe.
Jayla Shappy would exit out, played in that JV contest earlier.
Yep. Maya Monin checking back in for the Raiders.
Presley Reese brings ball up across the timeline. They're just going to sit back in that zone. Maybe they want to try to work on in-game action. So much you can do in practice to practice a zone, for example.
Absolutely. And just like you were talking about, I don't think they got the scrimmage time that they normally get with, those long extended volleyball seasons that they had. So, some of those players, a lot of sports, the fall sports overlapping into the winter sports, when you go into long runs there, definitely affecting you here in the winter sports. Oh, we got a double dribble. Ooh, but that don't get called very often.
Oh, nice, pretty adamant call there. Good call by the official. 5:33 to play.
But, yeah, usually you lose those scrimmages when you get that chance. Nice bucket there.
Macy Klopfenstein, she's in double figures. She had 8 in the first half, been kind of quiet since.
Leading right now with 10 points for the Tigers.
Try to go in the high-low. Sherman gets it up over to Putoff, and Putoff kisses it off the glass. And she's having a nice night for the Raiders.
She's at 9 points tonight.
8 different Raiders have scored, and that's a nice bucket there in the lane by Presley Reese, I believe who that was.
She's gotten to 4 points now.
45-23, 4:40 remaining here in the contest. They're just going to be patient here. Monin looking to rotate the basketball, back up over to Putoff. She gets a shot fake on the inside, loses the basketball. Nice defense by the Tigers.
Yeah, good way to pick that up. And I think Jackson Center is going to work on some sets here and just try to, see what will work here. And as they're getting going, nice getting those hands up. A lot of that's been happening tonight, and that's been on both sides. Getting that hand up and getting those deflections going out of bounds.
CC Borchers in the ball game, along with Ronnie Poling, going to come in for the Raiders as Reese Kubo, Kate Sherman to the bench. Klopfenstein, shot no good. Poling might have got away with a foul. Offensive rebound by the Tigers as they reset halfway through this fourth quarter stanza. Tigers going to turn it over to the Raiders. Borchers pushing up over to Dosek. Dosek throws it away in the Russia student section.
Yep, a little over anxious there, I think. Just that going, but luckily I don't think gonna hurt him too much here tonight with a 22-point lead.
Reese on the left side. .325 to go here in the fourth. Shot by Klopfenstein off the mark.
She's been pretty good tonight, and then Russia got a hold of that, so that will belong to the Tigers underneath the basket.
Tigers trying to look to get it in. As they'll throw it in the backcourt, it'll be a race between Monin and Reichert, and Reichert touched it. She touched it, forecourt.
She was trying to say that she touched it before, but I think it was already over the line anyway.
Raiders going to get a couple subs in. Right, night might be done for CC Borchers, Maya Monin, and Kelby Dosek as Jenna York, Grace Holscher, Addison Shappy in the ball game. Along with Jayla Shappy. Looks like Simone Putoff's nights will be over with. As Coach Broningen going to empty his bench. And it looks like he'll get Lacey Flippo in as well, as Kendall Reese going to come in the lineup. Some of the players that we've seen in the JV contest earlier, which the Raiders won 35-22. Again, like you said, Michael, earlier, trying to get that experience of just playing in the game.
You can't really beat that right now, especially early. You're going to need them. You may need them later. You got a long season, injuries, whatnot.
Here the Raiders had lost a depth piece. Carly Scott is on the team. Might be out for the season, possibly. So you're trying to, test your depth if you're the Raiders. They have pretty good depth, but just that 9th, 10th person,
Absolutely.
You never know in case someone goes down or.
You also get into a tight game with a lot of fouls as well. Not a lot of too many people here in foul trouble tonight by any manner of means, but
Addie Biederman with the 3 for the Tigers. She's got only 6 tonight. And McKinley Riker did not score yet tonight. The lead scorer last year for the Tigers. Something to say. They've battled with their lead scorer being held scoreless.
Yeah. We really kind of saw Riker kind of being, we had talked before the game about her kind of being the catalyst and really been kind of held scoreless. It's really been most of their offense coming from Kloppenstein tonight.
Kloppenstein's had a nice night indeed. Holscher down in the corner. Holscher gives it up back over to Jayla Shappy to Addison Shappy. Shappy trying to give it to York, but a kick ball called. 2:02 to go here. Kelby Dosek going to come back in for Ronnie Poling. And Lacey Flippo going to come in as well. Actually for Grace Holscher.
Yeah, you'll be able to get some experience here with these guys. Give them some touches on the basketball. It's going to be a long season. It always is.
Yeah. 19 more regular season games to go for the Raiders, 20 more for the Tigers. Shappy fires the 3, and these teams will see each other after the New Year break when the second set of round robin action comes on. We'll have that game here on NKTelco Sports.
Yeah,
that's January.
That's big with this type of this conference. You got 6 teams. You're going to be playing each other, so you're definitely going to get you get used to that. You get into like a college, like a Big Ten, you may see them, in your East-West, but some teams you only see once.
Raiders get a turnover. Flippo back over to Shappy. Shappy looking to move the ball and get on the inside over to Dosek. Back over to York. Jenna York shot no good. Reese up across the timeline. Reese tries to cut back in, cuts on the inside. Nice lane to the basket, and Presley Reese gets a bucket for the Tigers.
Bring her to 6 points.
45-28.
Under a minute here, so no need to rush. Good and the bad of no shot clock. The good and the bad. There's good and bad, and everybody's been talking about it and won it in high school, but we'll see. But we got a steal, and then back come the Tigers.
And Riker trying to get out of that scoreless funk, and I said just a tough night for her. Sometimes you get into those bunks early on, but misses the shot there, and the Raiders are going to move to 3-0 on the season, and the Tigers are going to fall to 0-2.
It's not a bad 0-2. They're playing a good team, and hopefully they don't get frustrated. But they got a lot of season, and a lot of things going on here in this conference. Just like you said, a lot of depth, top to bottom, and going to be a long draw. You never know, we might catch somebody on an off night.
And time expires, and
that'll do her.
Raiders win it 45-28. And they win 45-28 over the Jackson Center Tigers, and the Raiders advance to 3-0 and 1-0 in Shelby County league play. Just want to remind you that NKTelco Sports and its sponsors are pleased to bring you replays of tonight's high school varsity basketball action on NKTelco Channel 3 or in HG on Channel 503. You can catch the replays Wednesday, November 30th at 7 p.m. and Saturday, December 3rd at 2 p.m. You can also watch more games on demand through YouTube, Facebook, and at nktelco.com/sports. And we'd like to thank our sponsors here tonight, Keyhole Pizza, First National Bank, Precision Strip, Emerson Copeland, Carriage Works, Grand Lake Health, Kogi Plumbing and Heating, Lincoln Electric Automation, Minster Bank, Pratt Industries, New Knoxville Supply, Wagner's IGA, Wilson Health, Winners Meats, The Jewelry Barn, and NKTelco. Keys to the Game are brought to you by Keyhole Pizza, Scoreboard sponsor, First National Bank, timeout sponsor, Precision Strip, starting lineups, Emerson Copeland, Our Russia Live View sponsor is the Jewelry Barn. Our player of the game is brought to you by NKTelco. Other sponsors is Burke Petroleum, Chiltex LLC, Cy Schwederman, Dickman Supply, Hometown Opportunity, Hillsman Automotive, Park National Bank, SecureCom, and the St. Henry Bank. The Raiders win 45-28. Taking a look at our stats and recap here tonight, Mr. Michael Laws.
Finishing off for the Jackson Center Tigers, 4 points for Grace Prenger, 10 points for Macy Kloppenstein, Addie Biederman with 5 points. Presley Reese with 6, and Kendall Reese with 2. Off for Russia, CC Borchers, 7 points. Ronnie Poling has 8. Maya Monin with 2. Kate Sherman with 4. Kelby Dosick with a point. Reese Goubeau with 9 points. And Grace Holscher with 4. And we will give it to a player of the game. And our player of the game was Simone Putoff with 9 points. Going off with that, and she had it was a tough decision, but I thought she was had a good presence underneath, and we're going to give it to Simone Putoff for Russia with their 9-point performance tonight.
So the Raiders win 45-28. They advanced 3-0. They're in, I believe their next game is against West Liberty Salem. Might be wrong on that, but I have to look that up, but I don't have any internet up here. I know Jackson Center's next game, they have another week off to their next game. They play the Anna Rockets at home on November 29th. That's a game that you can catch here on NKTelco Sports if you're a Jackson Center subscriber, or you can buy the pay-per-view. You can take a look at NKTelco online if you want to watch Jackson Center versus Anna next Tuesday night. So that'll do it for us here tonight from Russia High School. For the final time, the Russia Raiders defeat the Jackson Center Tigers 45-28. For Michael Laws, I'm Brandon Coverman. We'll catch you here next time on NKTelco Sports.